sure to follow our amazing sponsors, Fiya Infusion, Tax Strategy, Ask Blue Jay, Lavish Looks by MzMetchi, and Black Dollar Days. And be sure to tune into our other programming throughout the week. All right, y'all, let's get it. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another week of the Blueprint Live with your girl, MzMetchi. Brought to you by Philly 101.5 and Indy 95.3 and Fluent Radio. Shout out to our partners, Be Your Own Kind and MzWiththetea, honey. And thank you to our amazing sponsors, Tax Strategy, Black Dollar Days, Fiya Infusions, and last but not least, Lavish Looks by MzMetchi. Okay, tune in every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and at 9 p.m. Eastern Time in Philly. All right, y'all, it's showtime. Let's get it.
What it do? Your favorite cousin Young Jock checking in, and right now you're tuned into the Blueprint Live with my favorite MzMetchi. All right, hey man, you know what it is. Keep doing what you're doing and keep it right here. Chill.
Yo, what's happening in? What's happening in? Oh, it's your boy $2 Fabo, Bankhead Fabo. Oh, hey man, check this out. I want y'all to tune in right now to the Blueprint Live with MzMetchi, and I want you to tune in every Thursday at 6:30 Central Time. Ah! Oh, Fabo!
Hey, happy Thursday. Let's just jam out real quick. Grab your drinks. We got a lot to talk about.
And then she hit you with, it's funny how you can't taste back. Trying to pick up, but we love that.
Hey.
She used the word love, like hold on, take a step back. There was only a couple times, baby girl, no stress that.
Hey, Paris. Shout out to Paris Ice Bar in the building. What's going on, guys? Grab your drink. Let's get it. This is my jam, so I'm just gonna rock out real quick, you know. If I was your girl, all the things I do to you. Hey. Janet was wild for that line. Like, if I was your girl. What do you mean? And I won't, but if I was your
money make the girl go crazy.
Go crazy.
Make the girl go crazy.
Go crazy.
Make the girl go crazy.
Hey. So, y'all, I just had to jam out real quick. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to another week of the Blueprint Live. Wherever you are, I hope you are having an amazing week and that, you know, it's just been nothing but blessings and things coming your way. Hey, Auntie Tracy, thank you so much for tuning in with me. If you're on this live right now, what I want you to do for me is drop those businesses in the comments, okay? If you are live with me right now, remember, I want to connect with you. Somebody needs what it is that you have to offer. So go ahead and put it out there, okay? If you were wondering what song that was, because I love that song, I hope you all did too. What's on MzMetchi's playlist? That was Janet by Means of Operations. Okay, so I love that jam. That's my jam. Real quick, y'all make sure y'all go and get in tune with Means of Operation. That's available on all platforms. And before I go any further, I got a shout out to Fluent Radio, Philly Jamz 95.3 and Indy 101.5. As you all know, I go live every Thursday here, you know, with the Blueprint Media Company on Facebook and YouTube, but my show also airs in Philly and New Jersey, okay? So shout out to Philly Jamz 95.3 and Indy 101.5. And if you're in the Chicagoland area, you can listen right on Fluent Radio at www.fluentradio.com. Before I go any further, I have to thank my amazing sponsors. Now, you all know that it's tax time. So if you have not filed those taxes yet, I need you to get in tune right away, okay? Shout out to Fiya Infusions for those that like a little bit of the sticky to the icky, okay? And shout out to Paris Ice Bar. Now, for those that like to have a few cocktails like me, okay? Paris Ice Bar is a mobile bartending service, okay? So wherever you are, she is able to pull up and serve libations for your event, okay? So you all reach out to our sponsor, Paris Ice Bar, if you are interested in mobile bartending services, okay? Tonight, I want to know. So y'all, I watched this crazy movie. I'm going to tell you guys about it with tonight's topic, but I want to know, what are some good independent Black movies that you've watched lately, okay? Like, I got to know what it is. So I'm going to tell you all about the 2 that I watched over this week. And I want you all to, give me some suggestions, because y'all know I like to watch me a few movies and things of that sort. Okay. Like I said, I hope you all have just been having a great week. I mean, it's so much that we have to catch up on. There's so many things going on in the world, locally. So let's go ahead and get into it, okay? Tonight, the Hate It and Love It, it's actually, I'll be honest, it's not even really that bad. So let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, y'all. It's time for Hate It and Love It. Let's get into it.
All right. Tonight's Hate It and Love It. Hold on. Let me get in these comments. What y'all talking about over here? She said, hey, let's get it. Paris Ice Bar in the building, period. Paris Ice Bar is in the building. For those that don't know, get your mobile bartender services, okay? Shout out to our sponsor, Paris Ice Bar, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in with me, okay? My first hated it for tonight. Let me just take a sip. And I can't even remember. I don't think that this was my one for last week, but I'm going to say for dang sure it is this week. One of my biggest pet peeves is wasting my time. Wasting my time. And I don't know how many people are going to feel me when I'm telling you all that this is my hated for real. I don't like when people waste my time. Like, it's just like, and then, waste your time and then not even have like even an inkling of remorse about it. Okay, what are we doing here? What is going on? So, had a little bit, of another situation, because I feel like this is not the only situation where my time has been like kind of like wasted, where it's like I poured in my time, my resources, getting things together on my end to try to make things a success. And it just, it not coming together. And then there not being any type of, regard as far as that's concerned. What we have to stop doing, and this is not just for business owners or just for friends or whatever the case is, let's not get into the habit of wasting other people's time. If you know that you can't do something, or if you even know that there's an inkling that you're not going to be able to fulfill things from your side, from your perspective, we got to start keeping it real, and not doing that, because just because someone may not have the same set of circumstances as you or whatever the case is. Time is something that we can't get back, right? So for me, if I block off something on my calendar for you, and anyone that knows me, like my friends, I'm tired of their ass with the shade of you got to pencil me in, you got to schedule me in. It's just like, no, it's not like that. I'm responsible for a lot of things. So if I'm carving out time and I'm saying friend or family member or business associate or work or whomever it is, I'm committing to doing something for you. You got to honor that and respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get too many instances to play with my time like that. Okay. Especially because it's something that we can't get back. So that's got to be number one on my hated it list. Like, that's number one forever and always. Don't waste my time, and don't get into the habit of wasting other people's time. Number 2, MzMetchi was a little sick this week. Like, it started Sunday night. I went to go and see D.L. Hughley with my aunt and my aunt's best friend. She's like an auntie to me too. Hey, shout out to Auntie Frida. Shout out to Linky. We went to go see D.L. Hughley, and there were 2 shows. So we actually attended the second show. And, there was something that happened. We don't even know, but needless to say, the ambulance was called, and they, held everybody outside. And if anybody that stays in the Chicagoland area, it was chilly outside. It got, it was nice on Sunday afternoon, but then it got very, very chilly as the night, came in. So they had us standing outside, for them to make this grand entrance with the, the stretcher, like the whole, it's giving real ambulance. It's giving ambulance. Okay. And they had us standing outside for a very long time. Like, what should have been just a walk in and then you get to your seat turned into like 40 minutes, it felt like. And needless to say, I started feeling sniffly as soon as I got home. Like, I was just like, man, I'm feeling a little sickly at this particular time. So that's definitely got to be the hated in number 2. Like, I was concerned for like 2 seconds. I'm like, oh, please don't let it be the vid. Don't let it be the vid. Who has time for that? Okay. Not I. So That's definitely the hated it for that. My love it. My first love it. Hold on, let me get into these comments because Usher Tracy said you shouldn't have to explain. They should respect that and fall in line. Exactly. Don't waste my time. Fall in line, okay? Get it together. And Paris said, "Hey to Tracy, you know we got the fam bam on here tonight. It's about the family." My love it is so I have decided, one thing y'all know I love to do is to tune into different like reality shows. I've always liked it. Don't judge me, judge your people. So I decided, I'm like, you know what? This is like pure content. This is pure gold. So I am launching a new show and it's called Reality Bites with MzMetchi. So, each week I'll be just kind of like tapping into the trending reality shows and what's going on. Fingers crossed we can get some of the guests on the show that, I watch their shows. So for me, I'm really, really excited about that. And that was definitely just like the highlight. My husband and I have been talking about it for a while. Like, he is my person that's like always on me. Like, what are some things that you could do to expand? What are some different ways that you can come up with creative content where it's just like, it's easy for you? Because he's like, you've already got enough stuff on your plate. What are some things that you could do that are going to be easy for you? And I'm like, well, hell, I watch TV, so it makes sense. So that show is going to be streaming, of course, on all platforms, both audio and visual. You'll be able to see that. So I'm super excited about it. I don't know if y'all been watching The Ultimatum. It's so much to delve into as far as that show is concerned. So y'all be on the lookout. I'll be dropping details and things for that very, very soon. So I'm super excited about it. Just come talk a little trash with me. Let's go ahead and do it. So I would say that that's definitely my first hated it. My second hated it, or excuse me, love it. I'm trying to hate everything today. My second love it would definitely be like the independent films, and not even just from like, like Black movies or things of that sort, but just like all of them, even the ones on like Netflix and stuff like that. I love those independent films. So I have been just getting a kick out of it this week on overload because, a lot of my little shows, they not giving what they're supposed to give, or they're on break right now. So that's definitely the second love it for tonight. I want you all that's tuning in with me, drop some of your haters and love it too. Like, what are you guys hating this week? What are you all loving? While y'all do that, I'm going to take a quick break. And then when I come back, I got tonight's What Would You Do?
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, MzMetchi, checking in. Remind you to shop my exclusive collection, Lavish Looks by MzMetchi, where we've got shades and everything that you need to look fly. Oh, and we also offer accessories. So ladies, put a little bit of razzle dazzle in your collection today. Be sure to shop with me and follow on social media at Lavish Looks by MzMetchi. Grab your products today at MzMetchi.com/shop. Tax season is among us. Make sure that you get with the pros at Tax Strategy to help you limit your tax liability and help you get back the maximum refund that you and your family deserve. Visit www.yourtaxstrategy.info for more information on setting up an appointment and getting the ball rolling on your taxes this year. Let them know that the Blueprint Media Company sent you. Listen to today's What Would You Do? Where we're talking about real situations with real people and offering real solutions.
All right, y'all ready to get into it? All right, tonight's What Would You Do? This one, I don't know. This one was a little bit different for me only because, it's like I'm married, so I wanted to get into that. But hold on, I had a comment from Paris Ice Bar. She said, "I hate when my extreme kindness is taken for granted." Yes, Paris, I get that a lot too. And what I can just tell you, sis, after you just kind of been through it enough, you just know how to kind of, as my dad would say, you know how to handle yourself, and I hate that it happens more often than it should, but it's just crazy. And then her love it was, but I love the different opportunities that come my way this week. Support. Absolutely, girl. You already know the Blueprint Live, the Blueprint Media Company. I'm rocking with you, baby. Paris Ice Bar is lit. Tonight's What Would You Do Let me go ahead and get into it. Hold on, I'm gonna take my sip because this one was deep. All right. My husband works and I'm a stay-at-home mom. He's the most unselfish person I know. I handle all the finances and he has never said or acted like it was his money. It's our money. Anyway, he's upset with me because he found out that I had a bank account he knew nothing about. I've been making money online and keeping it from him. He says that's his problem, and not that I've been keeping money online, but that I kept it from him in the event of a divorce someday. He said that women keeping a stash of hidden money in case the marriage fails is like a man keeping a side chick in case the marriage fails. And we both need to be all in or nothing. My mom raised me to have a secret stash that my husband doesn't know about. Is this wrong? Is my husband right? Oh, that one's deep. So if you're just tuning in for tonight's What Would You Do? We have a stay-at-home mom that is making some money on the side. She basically kept the account that this money is going into to herself. And her husband is upset with her, saying that she needs to be all in or nothing. Her perspective is that she should have a little bit of stash to herself. And let me just say that I totally see both sides of the spectrum. I do. I am a firm believer of, extreme transparency within your relationship, especially if you're married. When it comes down to a lot of things, finances being one of them. Sometimes my husband and I, we get a little bit of flack from people that may know us interpersonally, that kind of see a little bit how we do things in terms of finances. Like we have a joint account together, but we also have our own accounts. And my whole thing is like, we just set up a rule where as long as the house is taken care of and everything, what you do with your additional money is what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you have rainy day money, you have money for, different things that you may want to do, different excursions, whatever that is that it may be, you're free to do what you need to do, or whatever the case is. Granted, I feel like, when you're married, you should have your beneficiaries, have things lined up, because we all know that life is so short, right? Life is extremely short. So you do want to prepare for things. But I mean, her logic of keeping it in case of a divorce is just like, sis, first off, you should have probably worded that a little bit differently. I don't think that the word divorce should have even been brought up in that conversation, but just more so like, hey, I didn't know that this was something that was going to be upsetting to you. And I understand that you have, that you contribute to the house and it's all of ours and everything. And I'm not hiding anything from you. When it comes to a relationship, you have to be, pretty open and transparent about stuff, So I would love to know what you all think about this. Yeah. And then let me see. Paris said she could have said it was in case a disaster requires it. Blame it on COVID. LOL. Yeah, I feel like that, bringing up, you're in a healthy relationship. There's nothing really going wrong, but you're like, yeah, I'm putting this away in case you decide to leave me. It's like, ooh. Calm down a little bit. Let's get it together. It's just a little bit extreme. So, in situations like this, at the root of all of these, what would you do? And I say it to you all week in and week out, is that it's just about communication. So if she had some things and she's just like, hey, I'm setting this up, and I've got this money going into a PayPal or a Venmo or, or Cash App or whatever it is that you're doing for your business. It's like, clearly he lives with you, so he knows what's going on as far as what you're into and maybe what activities you have going on in order to get paid and to get extra money. So what's the need to hide it? I don't 100% get that. So let's just be honest. He does have a right to be upset. This man is going out and he is working and doing all this other stuff. And like you said, not being selfish. Because how many situations do we see, right, where there is one person that's staying at home and that's working, and the other person is just like, yeah, you wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't because of me. Like, watch Lifetime if you haven't seen any instances like that, where they're just like, I'm taking care of you, bow down to me, all of this other crazy stuff. But here it is, you actually have a spouse that's not even treating you like that. Like, he's literally not he's not coming for you in that type of way. So, you know, to start the communication off with, oh yeah, I'm keeping this just in case, you're definitely planting a bad seed that doesn't 100% it doesn't need to be there. It's not 100% necessary in this instance. So, girl, get it together. That's number one. Get it together. Like, don't do your man like that. That's just my thoughts and feeling on it. And I agree with Paris. I would have probably come up with any other reason. Like, even if my reason was keep a little stash, whatever, you know. I'm pretty sure that, you know, a lot of women, you know, the women in their life probably said, you know, always keep a little something for a rainy day. I know somebody that heard it before. I know somebody that heard it before. Make sure you keep you a little something. Don't just let all his money be your money and speak for you. And da 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 da. Okay, and you know, because we've also seen some instances where when somebody is being taken care of, that could kind of be their downfall in the end. So I get it 100%. It's nothing wrong with it. But when it comes to matters of the heart, when it comes to your spouse, you have to be extremely sensitive as far as that's concerned, you know, as far as it's concerned, and just making sure that like you are not doing anything that seems very shady and under the table when it comes to your relationship. My auntie Tracy said, of course, never know when a storm is coming. Yeah, you know, it's nothing wrong with keeping it or doing whatever it is that you need to do, but it's just like, come on now. Don't, you know, because this is the thing, it don't seem like he's selfish or like he's like really like money hungry or anything like that anyway. So it's just like, girl, that could have been a conversation. It could have just been a conversation. That's all I'm saying. So in this situation, she said this her husband, right? I think he does absolutely have a right to feel some type of way. He does. And how she kind of went about it, you know, she probably could have avoided it by simply just communicating like, hey, this is what I have going on. And then if he had any further questions from that point, they could have kind of crossed that bridge when they got there. But we, in all relationships, not just romantic, but even platonic relationships, don't let things get to a place where it's like a question mark, you know? That's really my whole thing. It doesn't have to be like that, you know? You just kind of talk about things, and when you put things out on the table, you know, you don't kind of err on the side of not being very trusting or trustful. I don't know. This situation, I do feel like he has a right to feel some type of way. And I would just hope that, you know, don't taint a good thing, girl. Like, he going to work, he said you could stay home. How many of my people that go to work and get up every day wish? If Anthony comes back and tells me, babe, you ain't got to do it, you ain't got to go. I mean, I'm still not going to give it up because I like to work. I like to do stuff like that. But, you know, because I like to get out the house and like meet people and, you know, network and everything. You know, it wouldn't be right if I just stayed at home the whole time. But I would love that. I would love that. Paris says she could have communicated or planned to have a better response when she got caught. Right. But it's just a simple fact that she had to get caught in the first place. Like, girl, you made the money. It's your money. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is that, so this is kind of like how I play it. Given when I first started talking about this, I told you all about just my arrangement. You know, Anthony and I don't mind being very, you know, open about that, because it's just like, we've been together for 11 years. So I'm just like, something is working in that regard, where it's like we're not fighting over cash. But, you know, I don't know what the heck is going on. Oh my God. I don't even know what's going on. Y'all, the music just playing on its own. Anyway, but you know, if I get an influx of cash, I'm like, hey, let's do something. Let's go out to eat, you know, let's plan a trip. Let's do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's get out here. Let's go do some stuff or whatever the case is. And the same with him. If he gets something that's additional and it's going to him, it's like, boom, okay, we're going to take care of the house. Okay, boom, what you trying to do? You know, you want to go play laser tag or something? Like, you know, you want to go to the range, go, boop, 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 you know, shoot what you want to do. So it's just like, just be honest. As Tracy said, LOL, first thing they do is say it's his money. Yeah, everybody will say that. They're like, oh, this is not your money. My whole thing is that if you are going by the principles of a traditional marriage, because again, there's so many different types of versions of that. What's mine is yours, and what yours is mine. You know, some women like to say what's mine is mine, and what's his is mine, and all that other stuff. That's very silly, immature ass thinking. Like, it's just like, girl, if you don't recognize that all of that is going to the same pot, it's a part of the same empire that's trying to be built, or whatever the case is. Like, grow up. That's just number one. And nobody is saying you can't make your own streams outside of that. But it's just like, don't be selfish and hide it. Like, girl, you know, can you come through with a little Ruth Chris meal? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe instead of going shopping at, you know, Save a Lot, you know, we could go shopping at Mariano's or Whole Foods. Like, don't be selfish. That's my whole thing. Like, make your money. You can even have a separate account. But it's just like, if this man is coming, he going to work every week and he putting his hard-earned money into one account that's benefiting everybody, the least you could do is that if you're going to have some money on the side, be honest about it and do something nice every once in a while. Like, girl, get it together. Buy some lingerie or something. Get the man something to eat. Get him some beers. Get him some stuff that he like. Just, we got to get out this city girls mentality. Like, he just supposed to trick on me and do all that other stuff. Like, I like to do nice things for my significant other too. I'm like, okay, you know, he sees some stuff. He know, my husband know how I am. My husband to come in with something new, and I'm just like, where mine's at? So then after a certain point, he started to get it. He just like, if I'm gonna get me something, she probably gonna want her something too. So I try to do the same for him, even if it's like these. I got some slippers on. Y'all probably think I'll be fully dressed, and I do, down to the shoes. I be having on house shoes, but he had bought these. He saw these shoes, and he just like, do you want some of these? I'm like, hell yeah, I want some of these. These cute. They look comfortable. They Nike and stuff. Absolutely. You know, so I picked it out and everything. So, you know, he'll do those things for me. So I try to do it in return too. But my purchases be a little bit more like, hey, babe, I'm finna book this trip. You want to go to this winery, or can we go do spas? So we do it in its own different levels. We do it on this on different level. Now, don't get it twisted. Anthony a trick too. He a trick. But we got to get out of this mentality that the men are supposed to be the only ones doing things. Y'all think men don't like to feel special? Somebody explain it to me. Because, I mean, my whole thing is, if we together and I'm rocking with you and you doing stuff for me and you buying me stuff and doing all this other stuff, why can't I do something nice for you? So for this particular wife, for this, what would you do? I'm going to need you to communicate next time. Okay. And I'm gonna need you to take that money, whatever it is that you're doing, and while you saving it for a rainy day, it don't seem like you in the midst of a storm. So I need you to go ahead, get it together, do something nice for your husband, woo it out, you know, smooth this thing on out, and do something nice for him where he's not swiping his card. Okay. And that's all I've got on that. Okay. It's funny. My auntie Tracy said they nice, my slippers. They are. I love them. They're so comfortable. Hey, Amanda. Congratulations. She is a new mommy. If you all remember, Amanda was on with us probably like a couple months ago, and she was pregnant at the time, and she has had her little one. So congratulations to you, sis. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. She said, when I get back on my feet, my husband going to have the world. Absolutely. And it's just like, when you really rocking with somebody and you loving on them like that, you just want to give them the world too. Like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, come on, you know, let's go get some couples massages. Let's go do some stuff, you know? And she said, hey, love, thank you. Hey to you. Make sure you get a baby a kiss from MzMetchi, okay? And my auntie said, congrats. Yes, it's lit. Congrats. Absolutely. She said contracts at first, but you know, that's okay though. We know it was a typo, girl. We know it was a typo. So yeah, that what would you do? That was a really good one, actually. So y'all already know what time it is.
Time to get into what's happening and what's up in these streets. Let's get it.
So y'all want to hear how the USPS, how that, you know, y'all ever wonder like, damn, are they stealing my packages? They are. So in Chicago, a former U.S. Postal Service employee based in Chicago, okay, has been indicted on federal charges for allegedly stealing stimulus checks from the mail. Olivia Bryant, who's 33, has been charged with 3 counts of theft from the U.S. mail. During her arraignment, Bryant pleaded not guilty. Girl, you did it. The indictment accuses Bryant of stealing 3 pieces of mail from her route in Chicago in March of 2021. Okay. Authorities believe the stolen mail contained various stimulus checks. Okay. Y'all, okay, let's talk about it. And and for those that have been tuning in with me for a long time, y'all know I told y'all about this B. And that's how I'm gonna keep it nice. They stole my Lavish Looks packages. Okay, let me get in these comments real quick before we get into it. She said, "Why put me on blast?" I be having typos too. I had one in the whole beginning of the show, but that's okay. Yeah. So I've had packages stolen before. The post office in Park Forest, Illinois, calling them out. A couple years ago when I first started Lavish Looks by MzMetchi, you all know I started summer of 2021. I was dropping them in the box, the little box where they pick it up at 4 and 5 p.m., whatever. I was dropping it in there, not having any problems. And then I had 2 packages back to back, literally, that just ended up completely vanishing. And I'm like, now, wait a minute. You all usually scan everything at the same time. I'll usually have a notification because I like to wait until it's scanned before I send out the tracking notifications to my customers. I've been like that since I started. So, I had to let it go. I ended up, luckily I had enough products so I was able to recoup, go ahead and send those packages out. I just had to take a loss on the original items that were dropped in the box. So I decided the next time, I had told one of my girlfriends about, the hard time that I was having. And I'm like, these are 2 packages, that were a pretty decent amount between the 2 of them that I had to basically redo due to them vanishing in thin air. So I went to the post office the next time, and instead of dropping it in the box, I went inside. Okay. And lady sitting her ass up there, she was real stank. She still worked there. She stank as hell. So anyone that knows, if you in the South Suburban area of Illinois, y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay. Not the one that be making jokes, but the other stank. She's a stank. Okay. She's just like, oh, we're not going to be able to take this. Now, mind you, my package, everything was, together the way that it needed to be. The label was on. And I'm just like, why? I was like, I have the correct amount of postage for where I'm sending it to. It scans appropriately. What's going on? And she's like, you're not supposed to have this right here. And I was just like, well, it hasn't been a problem before. And I'm like, well, speaking of which, I actually had a couple of my packages that I put in the box that, went missing. And she's just like, I don't know. But I'm looking at her face the whole time. At first she was making eye contact, no, we can't take that. We can't take that. And then I'm just like, I'm looking at her and she just looks super guilty. She stopped making eye contact and everything, when she was giving me a hard time. So I was just like, I'm like, I think this bitch just stole my package. I think that she stole my damn package. And I was like, okay, you know what? So I took it back. I made the adjustments of what I needed to do to send it out. And I'm like, okay, so this shouldn't be a problem moving forward, right? And I'm like, where do the packages go that you all take out the box that you can't ship? Because I was like, I think that might have been what happened with my other 2 packages that were lost in the mail. Okay. So she just sitting up there, just looking real oh my gosh, busted. Yeah, you are, girl. Don't steal people's packages. So the young lady, I'm like, you stealing stimulus checks? You work for the Postal Service? Make it make sense, please. Because it's not making any sense to me at all. And my whole thing is I know too many people that they are literally so fearful about mailing with USPS in the first place, because even with COVID and all that other stuff, they've been jacked up before the pandemic. Okay, so this is not something that's new. It's taken a couple weeks. And my whole thing is, y'all know I respect all the workers, all of our essential workers, including the USPS workers, the good ones, not the ones that's stealing people's packages. So Olivia Bryant, 33 from Chicago. If y'all know her, tell her ass it was not worth it, because it wasn't. Okay. Do y'all remember the song, We Ready? We ready? We ready for y'all. Okay, that was one of my jams. If you were in sports or anything like that, I'm pretty sure that you heard that song at some point. Okay. The rapper, his name is Archie Eversole. Okay, y'all, he was gunned down by his brother. And that was just very, very disturbing to read that news. So the rapper that made that song that I was just singing for you all, he was gunned down by his brother. It just disturbed me on so many levels, because it's just like, wait a minute, your sibling, your whole sibling. My heart breaks for that family because it's like, shit, I couldn't imagine me and the mom. You shot your brother? You really, really shot your brother. So unfortunate. So please pray for Archie Eversole's family. And they're not the only ones, and I'm not trying to like bring the mood down by talking about like real news, but it's real. And this was actually a story that our partner Ms. Zeewiththetea shared that was super unfortunate as well. Have you all heard, and I want to get his name correctly, so bear with me, Christian Toby Omuseli. Okay. Christian was allegedly stabbed to death by his girlfriend, Courtney Taylor, who is known for her OnlyFans page and 2 million followers on Instagram. The incident is being investigated as a domestic dispute by police, and Taylor is being kept for mental examination, of course, because let me just give you the dynamics for those that haven't heard of the story. Christian was a black man. Courtney was a white woman. Okay. Now we all know that had the dynamics of that relationship looked a little bit different. Courtney's ass wouldn't have ended up for mental evaluation. She would have been in jail for stabbing him to death. Okay. The incident occurred Sunday night at One Paraiso Luxury Properties located in Edgewater. Okay. According to Miami police, officers responded to a complaint of a man stabbed at the building and discovered the 27-year-old victim, who was brought to a local hospital where he died from his injuries. Okay. Courtney Taylor was arrested and committed to a mental institution under the Baker Act after threatening to harm herself. Okay. Courtney's OnlyFans account was released shortly after. Okay. So they ended up, I guess, like cutting her off due to that. And I mean, rightfully so. It's just like OnlyFans is for like the sexy and people that like feet and stuff like that. It's not for the killers. Okay. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on this particular case because I was just really thrown off by that. I mean, just all of the stories of just like, these are, our black men. You got the rapper who, he was gunned down by his brother. And you have this. I mean, could you imagine sleeping with somebody and being in a relationship with somebody that wants to cause physical harm to you? Like, girl, you stabbed him. Like, it wasn't even like a pow or nothing like that. Like, you literally stabbed this man to death. Like, when you think about how vicious that is, justice for his family, I'm hoping that is served. Take her out of that mental institution and take her to jail where she belongs. She belongs in jail. It's without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. We got to under the Baker Act. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to be doing some research under the Baker Act, because how are these people able to commit this stuff? Well, even when you think back to people like Dylan Roof and, and all this other stuff, where I say Dylan, it's Dylan Roof, whatever the hell his name was, a loser. How they're like, oh, they're mental. We're claiming that this person is mental. The guy that shot up that theater on some Batman stuff. Oh, it's his mental, or whatever the case is. But people are literally like shooting Black men and stuff like that for no reason. No mental capacity is taken into account when any of that stuff is concerned. Okay? Even when we killing each other. It's not a man. This guy might have had a lot of PTSD from being in his neighborhoods and seeing drugs and crime and all types of stuff. None of that is ever taken into account when it comes to us. But when it comes to other races, then we can claim that we're insane and then just get away with it. Bullshit. So we got to call a spade in that particular situation. But you all make sure that you go and you like and follow my girl, Ms. Zeewiththetea. Okay. She was the one that definitely, has been following that story. And I know that she's going to end up doing a follow-up when more details are released as far as what's going to happen next, because she cannot get away with stabbing this man. Like, 2 million followers or not, sis. We not doing that. Like, we're not doing that. So we gotta protect ourselves at all costs. Okay. Wendy Williams says that she is planning a big return to television, okay? The TV host was overheard telling her friends that she's ready to make a big comeback on TV while out of New York on Wednesday night. Page Six says that she also is planning to access her frozen accounts from Wells Fargo soon. And she's been in touch with people, and she's trying to, get back out there and everything. And, I told you all a few weeks ago that they were like canceling her show. And I was, a little saddened to hear about that. And I know people like to give Wendy Williams a lot of flack, but after I of course had been following her throughout her career. I mean, I remember at one point she had a show on like VH1. I mean, I might be telling my age here, but she had a lot of different things that was going on. And so I've been following her journey. I mean, even like for me, she was out in like different areas doing her radio show. Like I remember Wendy Williams from back then. She was real raw and uncut. So for me, I'm always going to be rooting for another Black woman to win. And I feel like that the situation that happened as far as with the dissolving of her marriage and different things, people don't understand that things have an effect on you. They don't get it. Like, I'll be honest with y'all, to keep it a buck. Tomorrow is my mom's birthday. And, those that know, like, my mom is gone. She's gone to glory. And I had debated for all week, like, do I even want to, like, do the show this week? Like, am I even in the space to do it? I was sick. I didn't feel good. It was just all around. I'm just like, I really just don't feel like doing anything at this particular point. So, and that's grief. We're talking about like 11 years and I'm still feeling like this. So with Wendy Williams, all of her stuff played out in the public. You all wouldn't have wanted to see me grieving when I first was grieving over what I was going through 11 years ago. You wouldn't have wanted to see that process, because y'all be like, me, what the hell is wrong with this girl? And rightfully so. So she was going through such a tumultuous time. And I feel like everybody's just like, write Wendy Williams off, write her off, write her off, write her off. And I'm like, nah, sis, I'm gonna stick beside you. Period. Paris said, yes, Auntie Wendy, baby. Yes. I'm like, and that's how I feel. I'm here for it. She said it's the best news all day. Absolutely. And my auntie said, I'm glad you gave yourself grace. Yes, I am. Y'all know I'm on a journey, and you all know that I have, I'm very, very transparent about the fact that I've been in therapy and just doing so many things so that I can be a better Demetria. Right. And part of that is allowing myself, Samantha literally tells me this. Yeah, Samantha, that's my therapist name. Okay. Because that's my girl. But she's like, you have to allow yourself to feel. And for me, I've persevered through so much in my life. Like, I mean, I should write a book about some of the things that I've just kind of been through. And I'm like, whatever. But, I pushed through so many things. And I always tell you all, allow yourself to have a moment, episode, or a season, but don't stay there. And sometimes things that should be an episode or a season, I try to make it a moment and not giving it the time that it truly deserves. So I was just like, okay, I'm like, you feel something right now, but what are you going to do to push through it? And if you watch Wendy Williams' documentary, like what she did on Lifetime, or even if you followed her career, this is an example of another woman that it was just like, she should have been allotted some grace given all of the things that she had gone through. And I think that she needed to go through those things so that she could have a better understanding of what's next and what she needs to do. So yes, I'm glad I'm giving myself grace too. And thank you, Mr. Tracy. She knows my story. Okay. So y'all, I don't know how to cap it off, but I felt like this is a good place to leave tonight's, one of the last stories to kind of like start to end it out for what's happening, what's up. Stuff in Russia is getting real. Is anyone paying attention to what's going on in Russia? But wait, before we get into that, I want to read Amanda's comment. She said, having a baby, not having my mom there was so hard because I never got to meet my mom. Plus, Mother's Day is coming up. It makes me sad, so I understand. Amanda, oh my God, girl. My birthday is on Mother's Day this year. I was born on Mother's Day. And it's hard. It's hard. And let me take a sip. Y'all trying to make me emotional today. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not gonna do it. If you all know the tears that I have shed in my life over my mom being gone, it. Amanda, I love you, girl. I'm sending my love to you. You are a radiant pregnant woman, and a friend, and you were, and I'm sure that was extremely difficult for you. And I Amanda got like all of these sisters. Shout out to Kim, shout out to the twins, shout out to everybody. Like she's got all of these, but anyone, if you have lost your mom, it's nothing like your mom being there. It's nothing like that. Yeah, it's nothing like your mom being there. And I get it. And I'm not even gonna lie, sis, whatever you got to do to make yourself feel better during this time, do it. Like for me, oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna go there. So with my birthday being on Mother's Day or whatever the case is, I just, these days, at one point I had like a whole bunch of friends. I had like all of these different things. And lately when it be like important stuff coming up, it just be me and my husband. Honestly, it'd be me and my husband. And I was just like, babe, I'm like, I don't want to wait or sit around and see like, oh, who gonna want to celebrate my birthday with me or do whatever. Like, I just want to do something to make myself happy, because I'm like, I just don't want to be depressed on Mother's Day, because it's just like I'll never forget the first Mother's Day that my mom wasn't here. After she passed, my mom passed in October 2011. So when that first Mother's Day rolled around, I was a mess. The Hallmark commercials for Mother's Day used to make me cry when my mama was here. So, I was sitting on my couch with a box of tissues breaking down like when she was gone, and it's just such a void. It's such a void. So, and my heart goes out to everybody, even my auntie that's on here. My grandmother's birthday was last week. How amazing was it? Like my grandmother's birthday was April 4th. My mom's birthday was April 15th. So in 1968, when my mom was born, you know what I'm saying? Like, what a thing. And my mother used to always tell me, she's just like, Demetria, you were the greatest Mother's Day gift that I could have received, and that just always like did it for me. Like when I came around Mother's Day, my sister came around Father's Day. So like they each had their own little thing. And I send my love out to you. And I didn't even mean to go on a tangent. It's just like, a lot of times when you talk to different people that maybe have not experienced that level of loss, it's hard for them to really understand that it's just like, it's like, I'm talking about this person to keep them, alive, in my heart and in my spirit, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, they're gone, they're really, really gone. And yes, I am tearing up, god dang it. But it's real, so it's just like, we talk about our family members, we have to keep their spirit alive in the way that we can, so girl. She said, oh, wow, I didn't know that I got tears in my eyes. Girl, I got tears in my eyes too. Paris said, Auntie raised a strong one. You got it, cuz, and you live in her legacy. That's for real. Sis, like, if my mama only knew, okay? Amanda said, same here, just me and my husband. I have no friends. Kimberly was the only person who was there for me during and after my pregnancy. Absolutely. And Kim, shout out to Kimberly. She is definitely the one that's been probably one of my longest running friendships. Now I know with her ass, I know if I call her, I'm like, hey, we finna go out for drink. She like, let me know. I just need a babysitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good. She said, remember to give yourself grace. She said, you okay. It's okay to cry, let it out. Yes. And you know what? That's another thing that I can honestly say that I've been working on. Is like, I used to be like super, super sensitive, where it was just, I could like damn near cry on like the drop of a dime. And I started to guard that, because I felt like that when I would let myself be vulnerable, that people would use that against me. In so many instances, like, oh, your crybaby ass, I didn't tell you because I didn't want you crying, and different things like that. So I over the years, especially after my mom passed, and then losing so many other people in my family. I mean, if you all know, I've taken off time because it was like my grandmother passed. I've lost 3 of my uncles at this point, and it's just like, we are already a small family. So you have to know that for every loss, that impact was felt deeply. After a while, I started to harden up So I wouldn't allow myself to go there because it's just like, I literally was telling my therapist, I said, you know what? I don't allow myself to go there sometimes or to break down because I don't know when to stop, and I don't know if somebody could feel me on this. I don't know if somebody could feel me on the, like, once you get to going, you get to going. You know what I'm saying? Like once the anxiety and the depression and those things are up, it feels like it's like you can't get out. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that it's okay. It's okay to just boom, put it out there. Girl, you're not feeling it. You're not feeling good. You know what I'm saying? And you feel sad. You miss them. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother's birthday was last week. I literally was like doing everything to get through that day, because I was thinking about her, like, and of course, both of my grandmothers are gone, but my grandma Daisy, God left her with us for some more time into like our adult years and things of that sort. And I mean, I lived with her, like, whatever. We watched Seinfeld together and shit, like The Price is Right. So it was really, really hard, but it's like, we have to let it out. We have to let it out. And that's important. And my auntie says, say that it's okay to cry. That's healing. I completely agree. And I just want to bring it back up. I want to bring it back up to you guys because I know that it could be hard. It's a touchy subject. People don't want to talk about it. But it's something that we have to get into. And I want to get into Amanda's comment. She said, I had people tell me I'm very emotional, but I don't care. That's my personal. And I'm only human. So I had to let them go. Yes. I mean, and Amanda, the thing about it is that as you get older and as you are making different life transitions, some people are going to fall off. They're going to fall off because they don't understand you and where you are. Like, I literally was telling everyone on the show a few weeks ago about an instance that I had with, like, one of my, I thought this is one of my closest girlfriends from college, and just how she like turned on me or whatever the case is. And then it's just like in a lot of her comments that she was saying to me, it was just more so like she did not understand where I'm at now. So I'm like, yeah, you met me where I was, getting drunk in college and having fun and doing those different things. But I'm like, that was over 10 plus years ago. I'm grown. I work a 9 to 5. I'm a corporatepreneur, as one of my former guests said, where it's just like I go to work, but I also have a business. I'm a wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm a lot of things to a lot of people. And it's because I want to be. I tip off all of those different hats because that's what I want to do. But it's like, if you're not rocking with where I'm at right now, you got to go. If you can only call me or you only want to talk to me when I'm up, and I can't never talk to you when I'm down, do I need you in my life at all times? No, I do not. We talking about Amanda's sister, Kim, one of my girlfriends. Kim and I don't talk as often as we used to when we were younger. Life has a way of, kind of inserting itself and making it where it's a little bit different. But I could call Kim one day and be like, girl, we turning up. Ooh, 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 ooh. And then in the next breath, if I call her, I'm like, I'm having a bad day. I'm going through something. She's going to be there for me. Everybody don't have that all the time. And my whole thing is that if you only want to be around me while I'm up, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go. And she said, so I mean, personally, and I let them go. Yes, girl, I can't say the cuss word on here, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward. The last story of tonight. Y'all ready for this? So last week, remember I told y'all about the student loans being extended until August, right? Here goes some news you can use for all my people out there that's got student loans. All my people got student loans. Put your hands in the air. Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer told activists on Wednesday that President Joe Biden and his senior advisors are warming up to the idea of forgiving student debt, insisting they are closer to pulling the trigger than ever before. Y'all, oh my gosh. Schumer, who has repeatedly called for canceling up to $50,000 in student debt per borrower, predicted that's where the president and his administration will ultimately land. I've talked personally to the president on this issue a whole bunch of times, and I've told him that this is more important than just about anything else that he can do on his own. He told the State of Student Debt Summit in a virtual event Wednesday, okay? He said that they're making progress. The White House seems more open to it than ever before, okay? So like I said, it's got extended into March, but there are talks about it being permanently forgiven. Now, for me, I've been paying on my loans since I got out of college. I had 3 student loans. I'm down to about one and a half, because the second one will likely be paid off. And baby, that was through Sally Mae, aka Navient. So you already know, baby, they want all their money. They like, baby, you gonna be paying on this until the end of time. Okay, but all I know is that if they cancel the federal loans, it's lit, baby. That when I tell you they gonna wipe out all my stuff, come on with the 50K. Come on with the 50K. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If they did that, that is a payment that I never, ever, ever have to worry about again for like my main loan that costs the most. That student loan, I could have another car. I could have a whole nother vehicle. Well, what I'm paying for the federal loan. So, yeah, if the White House, President Joe Biden, I tell you what, if he does that, baby, that's a game changer. That's a game changer. I'm like, you putting yourself up there with the presidents to be up there, with the presidents to be remembered. President Joe Biden, wherever you are, if you can hear me, if you understand what's going on, we need that. Okay. Paris said, forgive me for wanting that extra education. LOL. Take it all away. I hope this bill is passed and it includes everybody. Yeah, me too. Like, I'm just like, hey, shout out to the, our people that's in the service or whatever the case is. Couldn't do it without you. However, I'm gonna need them same benefits extended over here. Please. Teachers, all of the people that can get their stuff forgiven or whatever the case is, please. Shorty swing my way. What's really going on? Tracy was laughing. Yes, Paris said 60K, y'all can have that back. Girl, I think mine's were, oh my gosh, they were so much before. And I think I just went under 40K. Like, just went under it. And I'm like, oh, y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. The day that they do that, I'm just gonna start a parade. Like, this is the student loan happiness parade. We doing it. So I love that. So that's what's happening and what's up in the streets. Okay. So y'all make sure y'all get into it with that. And again, follow my girl Zeewiththetea too. Okay, because she got all of that. Now look, I'm gonna take a quick break, and then when I come back, we got tonight's topic.
The Black Dollar Days initiative has officially kicked off. Make sure that you join founder Faye Porter in her mission in uplifting the Black community. You can join by registering your business or just replying that you're in and you're ready to be in on this initiative. Okay? Visit theblackdollardays.com and do what you need to do to be a part of this. Be a part of the change that you want to see. Make sure that you follow them on all social media and let them know that the Blueprint Media Company sent you. Hey, y'all, it's your girl, MzMetchi, checking in, reminding you to shop my exclusive collection, Lavish Looks by MzMetchi, where we've got shades and everything that you need to look fly. Oh, and we also offer accessories. So ladies, put a little bit of razzle dazzle in your collection today. Be sure to shop with me and follow on social media at Lavish Looks by MzMetchi. Grab your products today at MzMetchi.com/shop. Now it's time for the Blueprint Live's topic of the day. Let's get into it.
All right. So tonight's topic. Now, first off, I gotta fix it because I had wait. Oh, here it is. It's actually good. Let's see. So today's topic: what good independent Black movies have you watched lately? Okay. So let me tell y'all about 2. First off, I blame Facebook and Instagram Reels for why I ended up watching this particular movie. But it's called These Men Are For Everybody, and it's on Tubi. So Tubi, okay? This movie was really good. It was based out of Detroit, so shout out to Detroit if y'all are tuning in. And basically, like, it was wild as hell. Like, it's no other way to describe it besides the fact that it was super wild. Like, they just, I mean, it gave you the crime, you know what I'm saying? Like the hood love, like it was just giving what it needed to give. But the basis of the story was, this guy. Well, first off, let me tell you all what drew me to it. The clip that they shared on Instagram and Facebook Reels was basically this guy and his lady were in a car, and apparently there was like a gun that had gotten picked up by the police that belonged to the guy who was very heavily into like, the drug game or whatever. And he, wanted the girl to go ahead and like, cop the plea. That just sounds so crazy, to cop the plea for him and, go to jail for a couple months so that, he could still be out or whatever case is. So what she said to him before they got out the car was that when I get out of this, I want $100,000 in cash and a ring. And, he was just like, okay, I got you. But the dude looked like he was super shady. So I'm just like, what is this? So, of course, me, I went to the comments. I was like, oh, let me go to the comments real quick. And where is this from? I'm like, I've never seen this before. And I went in the comments and they said that the movie was called These Men Are For Everybody. So I was immediately intrigued by the title. I was just like, oh, I'm like, okay, well, let me see what they're talking about on here. Let's see what they're talking about. So went ahead, checked it out. Really, really good movie. A lot of spans. They had one girl on there, baby. She was having sex with everybody. She was having sex with everybody. Okay. With no shame. That woman didn't have not a piece of shame about, and mind you, it was a set of friends, and the girl was having sex with both of the boyfriends. And I'll tell you that because I could tell you that without telling the movie. But I need y'all to go ahead and watch it. Now, in the midst of me watching that movie, they plugged another movie called He Played Me that was also on Tubi. And I was just like, okay, I'm like, well, shoot, I'm like, this movie wasn't bad. So, yesterday while I was at work, I put my little AirPod in, I set my phone up. I was like, okay, let me watch this other movie. I'm like, this, I'm like, if this along the lines of this movie, I know that it's gonna be good. So let me go ahead and do that. And that's exactly what I did. I went ahead, turned on the He Played Me, and I was like, man, I'm like, I just missed some good independent Black films. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I used to watch them a lot when Blockbuster and stuff was out in Family Dollar. I'm like, okay, let's check this out. I'm like, it's $2. It's $2. Let's go ahead and check it out. So these are really good, but I would love to know, what are some Black independent films that you guys watched before? Like, or what's some old school ones? Because for me, okay, one of my favorite ones that was the silliest movie I have ever seen before. It had Master P and Michael Blackson in it. It was called Repo. Y'all, that movie was funny as hell. Like, that movie was so funny to me. I was like this. I'm like, I'm literally cracking up because for me, I love me a good silly movie. Like, I like the, the crimes and the dramas and all that other stuff, but I like a good comedy. Like, if you could keep me rolling for, what I'm saying, about an hour and a half, because the independent movies, baby, they'd be about an hour, 25 minutes, something like that. I'm cool with it 100%. I'm like, I need to see this. I need to see it. So that's one of my favorite ones that came out some years ago. Like, we talking about over 10 plus years ago. Paris said that movie was hilarious. Girl, was Repo not funny as hell? Like, when I tell you Michael Blackson is a fool, and I think that they had, what's the lady's name, y'all, from SNL? Oh my gosh, what's her name? They be talking about her, and I don't like when they do that. Her name Lisa. It's Lisa something. That's gonna bother me that I genuinely can't remember the lady name, but she, Black woman or whatever the case is, and they had everybody that was on there. They was tripping, y'all. Like, they was absolutely tripping. So for me, I love a good thing. And she said Minnie Riperton daughter. No, Paris, that Minnie Riperton daughter was not playing in a movie like that. Don't do that. Her name Lisa. Now I gotta look it up. Okay, hold on. Let's do on SNL. Images. Let me see if I could go. Why is it not doing this? I cannot find her. I can't find her. Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones is her name. It wasn't Lisa. It wasn't Lisa. No, on the movie Repo. The movie Repo. That was Leslie Jones that was on there. And when I tell you her, Michael Blackson, all of them, they was acting a fool, okay? A whole fool. So I definitely, if you just silly, you a little tipsy, you like, I want to laugh real quick, you definitely throw that movie on. But I want you guys to just let me know what are some movies that you're watching. What's some stuff y'all like get into, even on Netflix or whatever the case is. Like, it's so many good series and movies and stuff on there. I'm always interested in what are the different things that's out. Like, how can we support? Because y'all know the larger movies and stuff like that, they always get the plug. They, they got the studios backing them and all types of stuff. But the independent films, these people are putting it together. And especially my people in the Chicagoland area, like, y'all got to tell me what's the movies, what's the stuff I need to be watching at this point. Because I would love to add it to my playlist, especially if it's on Tubi. Now, side note, I did watch a show I had been seeing because I'm in like a reality TV group on Facebook. I am Judge of People again. And they were talking about Mama D's show that she had on Tubi called Mama D's Royal Love Affair. Y'all, I had to cut that shit off at like the first episode. I said, this is giving ghetto. Y'all, she had them do a photo shoot where they was butt ass naked because she wanted to see their pee-pee. Where my drink? I had to take a big gulp of that one. Baby, and she embarrassed them. And then at the end, when she was doing her elimination, they did that. I deserve to be loved. I was like, oh, hell no. I'm like, Tubi, y'all play too much. Y'all playing too much. So it's a lot of good independent stuff out there. So you guys let me know in the comments, or like I said, y'all always send me such great messages and things and follow-ups for the show. Please let me know, what are some good independent Black movies that you watched lately? I want to know. I'm interested. Okay. I'm so interested. So of course it's coming to that sad time of the night, but it's a happy time.
Thank you so much for all of my listeners for tuning in. And now it's time for the quote of the night.
Tonight's quote of the night is really good. I'm excited. Hold on. Oh, let me take a sip. You need the sips. Okay. Tonight's quote of the night is, fall in love with taking care of yourself. Fall in love with the path of deep healing. Fall in love with becoming the best version of yourself with patience, with compassion, and respect to your own journey. For those that are just tuning in one more time for the one time, fall in love with taking care of yourself. Fall in love with the path of deep healing. Fall in love with becoming the best version of yourself with patience, with compassion, and respect to your own journey. We're all on a journey out here, and the best thing that we can do is making the most of it and just really falling in love with that journey. Like, I shared some things with you guys as far as like, I'm on my journey of just being a better me. A lot of people, when they hear you're like going to therapy or different things, they're like, what's wrong? Or are you going because of this? Are you going because of that? It's like, no, I'm going because I just want to be the best version of myself. I want to have all of my stuff untucked and not swept under a rug and talk about it or whatever it is. And that's that deep healing part. And, doing it with patience, like, honestly, with whatever journey that you're on, it requires your absolute patience. Like, there's no way that you can do it without being patient with yourself at this point. So you owe it to yourself to do just that. Let me get in these comments real quick before we go. She said, A Fall from Grace. Oh, that was a good movie. But that was, that was Tyler Perry, Auntie Tracy. So that's independent too. You're right. That was a really good movie. Baby, when he was sitting up there with that cigarette, I was like, beat him up. Beat him up. I want to, definitely just thank everyone for tuning in with me tonight. If you haven't already, make sure that you're following me on all platforms. That's MzMetchi, Miss Mechi, on all platforms, okay? And also make sure that you're following the Blueprint Media Company on all platforms at the BP Media Co. Visit MzMetchi.com or the bpmediaco.com if you'd like to be a guest or if you would like to advertise or be a sponsor, okay? My amazing sponsors. Shout out to Paris Ice Bar. She tuned in with me all night. Mobile bartending services. If you need them taxes done, dog, I'm going to need you to go ahead and head over to Tax Strategy. She's got you 110% covered. Shout out to Fiya Infusions. And of course, Lavish Looks by MzMetchi, okay? For those that are tuning into the visual show tonight, you see these. It's Lavish Looks, baby. Okay, it's Lavish Looks. And so you can shop that exclusive line at MzMetchi.com/shop. Okay. Next week, got a great show for you before I go on vacation, because part of me being on my journey is taking some time to relax. And baby, I went ahead, I pulled the trigger not too long ago. I'm going to Jamaica for my birthday. I'm gonna be out there with a Mai Tai on, being a hoochie with my husband. Real hot girl-ish. Okay, that's what I plan to do. So I hope that you guys are also going to be doing the same. Okay, I love you and thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Okay, bye.